Hey everyone, and welcome to the first of the What I Eat Wednesday videos. Now today's video is going to be all about what I used to eat and what I eat now, and the things that I've tried and tested really. So I'll tell you the bits that I've done and the bits that I found that worked for me and that didn't work for me. And some of those things might work for you, but it's all about kind of, the bits that I have tried and that I've picked up along the way. So once I've done this, I will then be going on to videos more on showing you what I cook, how I cook it, how I prepare it, and pictures of the bits that I've eaten through the week. Now, if you want to know more of what I do eat, please go and follow me on Snapchat and Instagram. The names are down in the bottom of the description here, so have a look at them, and I do put daily bits on there, so you'll see that anyway as to what I eat during the day. But after today's video, the follow-on Wednesdays will be more of a video explaining everything that I'm eating through the week. So on to the bits for today. So what I used to eat. What I used to eat was pretty diabolical. If I'm truly honest with you, it was really bad. I would sit and eat packets and packets of sweets, and they would be the jelly sweets. I was more of a jelly sweet girl than a hard-boiled sweet. And I mean, the big packets of Haribo, the family size ones, I could sit and polish off a packet of those with no problem, really. I would feel sick after them, but that never really outweighed my wanting for them, my craving for them. So I always had sweets, and that was one of the things that I have really cut down on, and one of the things that I pretty much avoid as much as I possibly can now, because I don't ever want to slip back to that. So sweets was a big thing. And my drinks, I have never been a big fizzy drink person, so I never had the fizzy carbonated drinks that were full of sugar. But what I did find was that I worked in a hotel, and in the hotel we had a breakfast area. And in breakfast areas, they have the big cartons of juices. So you have the orange juice, you have the cranberry juice, and other fruit juices that you can drink. Now, we were allowed to help ourselves every now and again to get a drink. And I'd find that I would do like the late shift, so the finish at 11 p.m. And during that shift, I would drink sometimes a carton of cranberry juice. And it's a pretty big carton, and actually when you look back at the information on the back of those cartons, that juice is crammed with sugar. And I never realized that before, because I was never really into that. I never understood it. I just thought that I was big for no reason and that it was somebody else's fault. But they were full of sugar, and they're nice in small quantities, small doses. A little glass in the morning is brilliant, but when you sit and drink it in high doses and high quantities, it's not good. And that was generally what I would drink. I personally can't remember drinking much water through my earlier years, through my school years, through my early 20s. I don't really remember drinking much water. So what I did drink was coffees, juices, teas, and a bit of milk. I don't remember going, oh, I really fancy a glass of water. So it's pretty shocking really what I would put into my body, and then wonder why I didn't change, why nothing was happening for me. So they were the things that I would crave, so the sweet stuff. And I do still now have a bit of a sweet tooth. I have managed to curb it, but I do still now every now and again fancy just a little bit of something sweet, and I do allow myself to have it. I do give in to that every now and again. I don't completely cut everything out of my diet, but I am pretty focused on it, and I do try to cut it out as much as I can. So the foods that I would eat when I was at my biggest would have been more of a takeaway than anything. I loved a good curry. I still love a good curry, actually. I love Chinese. My mum worked in a fish and chip shop, so that was basically on tap. I could get fish and chips whenever I fancied. Whenever she was working, I could go and get some, and I would have fish and chips, or chips and whatever. So they were pretty my go-to meals, really. So if I sat down, it would be that. And it wouldn't be just a small takeaway. It would be a big, my plate was filled. My stomach must have been the size of a big football or something, because I could put away some food and I could keep going and keep going and keep going. And I'd just constantly eat, and every time I'd finished a meal, I would want sweets. So I always had sweets to finish off my meal. It was always be something that I shouldn't be eating after a meal. So takeaways, yeah, I would sit and eat them in high quantities. But other than that, I wouldn't sit and graze through the day. I know some people are grazers. I never really was a grazer. It was more of my portion sizes were big, and the puddings or the little treats afterwards would be something sweet, and the drinks were really, really bad. So that was my kind of diet beforehand. And if I had a tea or a coffee, I would have like 3 sugars in it, 3 teaspoons of sugar. And I'm quite shocked and I'm quite embarrassed to say that I used to eat that, but you know, it is what it is, and I've finally changed what I do, and I've stuck to what I do, and I've found that it has worked for me. So if you're finding that you do pick on things, or you're finding that you're eating a lot of sugar, maybe take a look at what you do eat. Have a little diary, write down the things that you eat, because sometimes I've found that I would mindlessly eat, and I mean the packets of sweets, I would sit and eat and eat and eat them, and I'd finish a packet before I knew that I'd managed to do that, and that was mindless eating. So maybe look at what you're doing, and the second you start writing them down, you start seeing what it is that you're eating, you start to become aware of what these little hands do and how they pick things up and how they put it straight to the mouth. So if you're starting your journey, write a little journal, get a little notepad, a nice little one from Paper Chase or somewhere like that. Go and get a little journal and write down the bits that you eat, and every time you put something to your mouth, write it down. Take a look at it at the end of the day, and you'll see just where it is that you're going wrong, because a lot of people don't know where it is that they are going wrong, and they think that their diet is fine until they actually look back at it. So get yourself a journal and do that to start with, I would say. Now, in between me trying to lose weight and me getting to where I am now, I have tried, I think, every diet, every weight loss regime going under the sun, and I mentioned it in one of my other videos. I have done the Atkins diet, I've done Slimming World, I've done Weight Watchers, I've done Lipotrim, which is I think it's 3 to 5 shakes a day, which are completely tasteless. I have done 500 calories a day and really strict and almost starving myself at that point. I have done Slim Fast, was it? Is it Slim Fast with the other shake one? So I've done that one. I have done bodybuilding diet. So I've done the 6 small meals during the day. I've cut out carbs completely. I've gone with carbs through the day and none in the evening. I've done everything that you can think of. Now, those things didn't work for me. They didn't work, and I found that when I did Weight Watchers and Slimming World and the Slim Fast and the Lipotrim, they were all brilliant. They were really good, and I did lose weight. I did manage to drop a few stone during that time, but I found that my actual mindset and the way that I thought about food wasn't quite right for those kind of diets at that time in my life. So on Slimming World, you can get, when I did it at least, you had your unlimited days. So you were on the red and green days, so you had your protein days and your carb days. So if you were on a green day, that was your carbs, and that meant that you could have unlimited of your carbs. But for me, in that mindset that I was in at that time of my life, if you tell me I can have unlimited carbs, then guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to have unlimited carbs. And that just didn't work for me. I couldn't get my head around portion sizes. I couldn't get my head around being aware of what I was eating, and that carbs weren't good for me at that time. Well, certain carbs weren't good for me. So they didn't work for me. And I know loads of people that have lost weight on them. So that, you know, they are good if you are in control and you understand what you're eating, you understand food, they're brilliant. But for me, they didn't work. The shakes diets, brilliant, they worked, they got rid of a lot of weight, but the second I started eating again, it came straight back on. It came back on with a vengeance. It came back on with added pounds, and I tended to eat more as well. I was eating more because I'd gone through weeks of not eating and just having shakes to just gorging out, and oh my God, I could finally eat, and I just piled the weight back on. So I did those. So that's the shakes. I did the Weight Watchers. The Atkins was brilliant, cutting out all the carbs. Yep, lost weight, lost water weight. It was fab. But there comes a time where you kind of need to have a little bit of carbs in your life, and you'd get to a certain point, or at least I would. I got to a certain point and I was brilliant on the Atkins, lost loads of weight, and one day just gorged out on carbs, and that was the downward spiral once again, back to the carbs, back to everything that I shouldn't be eating, and I lost track once again. So the bodybuilding diet as well, the 6 meals a day, brilliant, but I couldn't quite get my head around the eating 6 meals, and I found it quite hard to eat 6 meals in a day as well. So that didn't really work for me, and it is brilliant for a lot of people. Successful bodybuilders do it, but for me it didn't work. So I've kind of tweaked things, I've got my own diet regime, and I've done certain things. Another one that I actually did was the hormone reset diet, and I'll put a link to the book in there. I found this one really helped me mentally more than anything, more than a physical diet. It mentally helped me because she explains in her book that you can get your carbs if you eat enough vegetables. So you can cut out your carbs, but so long as you're eating vegetables, and a lot of them, then you can still lose weight healthily without going into that ketosis, that ketone stage. But the amount of carbs that you need to get, or the amount of vegetables that you need to eat, is a pound of vegetables in a day. Now I found that when I first heard that, I was freaked out that I would have to eat a pound of vegetables in a day, but they now have little boxes of courgette noodles or carrot noodles and all those kind of things that are easy prepared vegetables that you can eat, and a box of those was half of your daily allowance, or half of your daily recommendation of the pound of veggies. So I would have that on an evening, and that's half of my pound. That's half of my pound of vegetables done. So my morning, my breakfast and my afternoon times, I just needed to add a little bit more. So for me, the kind of things that I eat now is, I'll talk you through the routine. So in the morning, I will have my workout. I'll do my HIIT workout in the morning. And then if I have time to cook, depending on what days he's doing or whether I have to take my husband's kids to school, I will either have a protein shake with hemp. Now I'll put the link into the powders that I do take. And these are kind of go-to last resource if I need them. So if I haven't got time to cook, then I'll have them. So I normally have a mint chocolate and a hemp scoop as well, with coconut milk. No dairy in there, just coconut milk. It's much better for me than dairy. So they're my kind of last resource breakfast. The other breakfast that I'll tend to have is scrambled eggs with avocado, a bit of spinach, a bit of asparagus, a bit of tomato. And that's a lot of vegetables in one sitting with my eggs. So it's got my fats, it's got my proteins, it's got my carbs from my veggies. And sometimes I will have like a bean mix, so kidney beans, pinto beans, those kind of things. I get a tin of beans and I'll chuck those in. So I'll have a variation of scrambled eggs, omelettes, fried eggs, all those kind of things. And if I'm really fancying it, sometimes I'll have a little piece of bacon, I'll have a sausage, but it tends to be just the eggs with a lot of vegetables. So that's my typical morning breakfast. I don't tend to eat toast, I don't eat cereals, I don't really eat porridge anymore. And I found that kind of breakfast really works for me. It fills me up for a long time, it gives me the energy that I need, and it also stops me feeling bloated, because I used to have scrambled eggs with toast, and I would find that mid-morning I would feel horrendous. My stomach would bloat and I'd feel really bad, and I kind of went sluggish because of the bread. So that is my typical morning meal. Now lunches will be a big salad. It'll be either a big salad with avocados, with a bit of olives. I'll have a lot of peppers, all those kind of things, and I mean a big plate of salad. So my plate is filled with salad. Then sometimes I'll chuck salmon on, I'll chuck chicken on there. I tend to have chicken or salmon more than anything else, and always water with every meal that I have as well. So they're my typical lunches. Typical lunch is always a salad of some sort. And then my evening meals tends to be loads of vegetables, broccoli, courgette noodles, carrot noodles, mushrooms, peppers, onions, tomatoes, all in a big mixture. A big stir fry, they're the brilliant way of getting loads of veggies in. I found that stir fries are really good because you just get a big amount of vegetables down in one sitting, and it's easy. And again, with that, I'll have either a steak, I'll have chicken, I'll have pork, not so much pork actually, I don't really eat too much pork. I'll have fish, I'll have anything that you can think of protein wise, I'll chuck that with my vegetables. I do make chilies, I do make spaghetti bolognese, I do make a lot of tasty things with a bit of sauce on there. So that is my typical throughout the day kind of meal. And I don't snack. I don't really snack on anything. I don't really eat fruit, and I've found that for me, not eating fruit works for me because the sugars, the natural sugars in the fruits do cause me to either stay at the weight that I am or gain a little bit of weight, because I haven't been tested, but I'm almost certain that my glycogen levels rise really quick when I eat sugars. I think it's also to do with my diet beforehand, so I kind of tend to stay away from fruit. And I don't snack on anything. I don't really snack on fruit through the day. I don't snack on anything. The one thing I do love is peanut butter. I absolutely love peanut butter, and I can sometimes go a little bit OTT with the peanut butter actually. And I get it's a crunchy organic one, and it's so I love it. I absolutely love it. So that's my little bit of a treat, really, is a bit of peanut butter. Now, come Friday night, so I do my good eating throughout the week. Monday to Friday, I'm really good, and I stick to it, and I drink my water. I drink loads of water through the week, and on the weekends as well. But come the weekend, Saturday and Sunday are my kind of relaxed days. They're my days where if I want to get a takeaway with my husband, I'll get a takeaway. If I want to have breakfast out somewhere, I will. If I want to have toast, if I want to have chocolate croissants, if I want to have cereal, that's when I'll eat it. So anything that I've craved throughout the week, I'll have it on a Saturday morning. I'll do whatever I want on the Saturdays. On the Sundays, I'm a little bit less relaxed, but I found that works. It allows me to get through the week, have my cravings, remember all of the cravings that I've had through the week, and come Saturday, I know I can have it. And you'll find as well, I find that come the Saturday, all the stuff that I've craved through the week, I don't necessarily want it by the Saturday, but because I tell myself through the week that I can have it on Saturday, that works for me. Because I'm not telling myself you can't have it, I'm telling myself you can have it on Saturday, it's fine. I'm not restricting anything, I'm not stopping myself from eating anything, I'm just saying I can have it later through the week. So I do enjoy ice cream, I do enjoy a pud, I do enjoy pizza, I do enjoy curries, Chinese, I enjoy all of that, and I love that on a Saturday. That's mine and my husband's day where if we want to be pigs for the day, then guess what, we're pigs. We will drink wine, I'll do all of that, and do you know what, I'll Snapchat all of that for you guys, just to see that that is what I'm sitting down and eating. And don't get me wrong, that helps me to maintain my weight where I am at the minute. But if I wanted to lose weight, I would have to stop that. Because I found that even with one day off my diet, one day off my healthy routine, then that stops me from losing weight. I need to be full on 7 days a week if I want to lose any more weight. So I'm kind of happy where I am at the minute. I every now and again have phases where I go, oh, I really want to lose a little bit more, maybe another half a stone and I'll be quite happy. But actually, after having my little girl Daisy and becoming a mum and just kind of maturing in myself, I've now realised that I am happy, I am body confident, and I'm quite enjoying life of having 2 days off my healthy routine. So I'm not saying to everybody that I am strict 7 days a week and that I do this and I'm really good, because I'm not. I do have days off and I enjoy them and I love them. So that's my typical routine of what I eat now. It's a lot of veg, a lot of salads, and good healthy fats, proteins and carbs. And I will start to put on my website, Fat Girl Fit Mum, a list of blogs and a list of foods that I eat. I'll put it all on there so that you can see it, so that it's kind of broken down, as I know that watching it on a video is quite hard unless there's a picture coming up, but that will be in next week's video. I'll put pictures on there, I'll put videos of me kind of preparing the foods that I eat. But have a look, that's my first tip for you. The biggest tip is to have a look at your diet. Write down what you're doing, write down what you're eating, and see where you're going wrong. And firstly start making those tiny little changes that you're doing. And once you make the first change, you'll see that the weight will start to come off. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope it's given you an insight into how I've transcended from overweight, eating sweets, eating takeaways and junk and drinking rubbish, to trialing, testing everything, to now actually being quite comfortable with what I do and eating pretty healthy the majority of the time. Don't ever beat yourself up if you have a day off. You know what? We fall off the wagon, everybody does. But as long as you get back on it the next day, you're fine. Rome wasn't built in a day. You don't put weight on in a day. You might put water weight on. I've tried, I've tested. I have, on a Saturday night or on a Saturday, eaten whatever I wanted. And I know full well that come the Sunday morning, if I jump on the scales, I'm highly likely going to be 6 pounds heavier than I was the day before. But I know it's just the food that I've eaten. I know it's just the water that's retaining within the body. So if you can get your head around that and don't beat yourself up after a day off the diet, after a day enjoying yourself, after a day out with the family and eating ice cream and chips by the seaside, don't worry about those days. They're fine as long as you don't let them continue. So carry on doing what you're doing, try your hardest, get back on it the next day and just reverse the things that you've done. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. And if you have, please give it a thumbs up. Click subscribe, share it to all your friends, let them know about Fat Girl Fit Mum and that I'm here to give advice, give tips, give tricks that I found have helped me and hopefully help you all to change your lives and help you to get started on your path and help you to get to somewhere that you're comfortable with and feel happy with. So again, give it a thumbs up, click like, subscribe and share to all your friends.